Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Chemistry for Your Everyday Life. I'm Dr. Zine, but most people just call me Dr. Ben. Today, I'm going to be teaching you about benzene rings and how they react when you add other substituents, whether they activate or deactivate. Where better to learn about benzene rings than your local community pool? See, my local community pool, the contractors didn't do an average square or rectangle shape. They decided to make the pool into a hexagon shape. And it seems like every day there are the same children playing the same game. We have Eli, Elliot, Elise, Elijah, and Elizabeth and Ellie. They're almost always there playing the same whirlpool game. It seems that that's their favorite game, and they just keep going spin and spin. If you don't know the game, they just spin around and around, making the whirlpool go even faster. But it seems that every time a new person comes into the pool, they get distracted. They either go faster or they go slower. And that happens whenever new people come and however, it seems that these kids get very distracted really easily. Whenever anybody comes to the pool, they either slow down their spinning or they speed up. Let me tell you about a couple of the regulars that visit our pool. First, there's Nancy and her two babies, Heather and Henry. Whenever Nancy brings her babies, Heather and Henry, the kids loved these babies. They speed up their spinning just so they could see the babies. And this makes them spin a lot faster in their whirlpool game. But it's not just the kids that love these babies. Everybody loves them. They're very cute. They're twins. And so whenever someone comes in after them, they're always coming in right next to them to see these babies and chat with the parent, with Nancy. Even though sometimes the lifeguard comes and starts looking through his binoculars to see all the cute newborn babies. Another group that gets these kids all riled up is Oprah and her sons, Hector and Henry. Whenever Oprah brings her sons, Hector and Henry, another group that comes to the pool quite often is Oprah and her sons. She usually only brings one of her sons, either Hector or Ricky. Oprah with her son Hector or Ricky. And she is also very popular. Her sons can't swim, but they are still very popular, and the other kids love to play with them too. As well as the parents loving to talk to Oprah. So in this example, she is bringing Hector with her, but sometimes she brings Ricky with her instead. And then of course the parents love to talk to Oprah. And of course the lifeguard keeps checking her out as well. The third lady that's a regular to our pool is kind of weird. I like to call her Crazy Cindy. Crazy Cindy often brings her 3 hedgehogs or 3 cats to the pool. Now the kids, they love these hedgehogs and cats not nearly as much as the babies, but it still makes them a little bit excited, and they do spin around and swirl in the pool quite often to see these animals. It's really fun for them. But the parents, they think it's kind of scary, and they are always trying to stop Cindy from dunking the cats and dunking the hedgehogs into the pool. So they come in real close to her. Lifeguard is yelling from across the pool, "Hey lady, don't put your cats and the hedgehogs in the pool. It's not hygienic." Another local patron of the local pool. Another patron of the pool is a single father. I keep forgetting his name. It's either Brad or Clark. I'm not entirely sure, but whichever one it is. He just wants to get his children. He's not too happy about the pool, but he just wants to get his children and go. But he's also very sociable, and the other parents love to come and talk to him. So when Brad or Clark, let's say Brad is his name, comes to the pool, the parents love to talk to him, and they sit next to him, and they even wave from across the pool saying hello and trying to chat him up. There's also a very nice family that comes to the pool. Carla, Oswald, and Herman. Now Carla is a very nice lady in herself, but her husband, Herman's stepfather, is kind of a mean type of person. You know, not many people like him very much. He just wants to get the kids and go home. But since he's kind of off-putting, a lot of people don't really like him, and so they kind of keep his distance. They stay away. Right there. That way they don't have to interact very much. Speaking of couples that come to the pool, there's a newlywed that comes to the pool quite often nowadays. We got Carl and Noreen. Carl and Noreen. Now they're a very new couple. They just got married a couple of weeks ago, and they're very affectionate to each other. Carl, it's like they hold each other's hands, and they also put a leg across each other, and it's quite a bit of PDA actually, and it kind of throws a lot of people off, and so they kind of keep their distance away too. Another single mother that comes to the local pool is Susie and her children. Now Susie, she often brings her 4 kids, Oscar, Oren, Olivia, and Harriet. Now she's a swell lady. She's always very positive and friendly to everybody. But having that many kids, you think she has 6 arms, you know. And so you think she has 6 arms to deal with all these kids. And the kids are kind of annoying, so the other folks, the other parents that come in after her, they tend to stay away from her, even though she herself is quite positive, quite nice. Now the last regulars that I would like to tell you about is kind of the black sheeps of the community. We have Nick, Oquisha, and Oshandra. Now, I personally think that Nick, makes his money with Chandra's and Okwisha's skills. He's a pimp. But the kids seem to love staring at Okwisha and Chandra, and so they tend to slow down and they stop and stare. But naturally, the other parents that come in after them, they want nothing to do with them. And so they try and stay as far away as they can in these positions here. So in essence, the children's whirlpool game, So in essence, the speed of the children's whirlpool game will greatly change based on the first couple that comes to the pool. Essentially, it has a pattern like this. Furthermore, the placement of the next couple that comes to the pool will be dependent on who got there first. And they may be interested in sitting next to the first person that comes to the pool, or they may want nothing to do with them, and they will sit further away. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Chemistry for Your Life. I'm Dr. Benzene, and have a wonderful day. The final message for today's episode is be like a nucleophile. The final message of today's episode is be like an electrophile. You'll be a cool cat and your positivity will attract many others. They may bring you down a little bit, but in the end, when you find that right bond, you will be happy to know that you've made their life a little bit more positive.